Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Cricket today, unfortunately, is mourning the death of a wonderful batsman, a former New Zealand skipper, and one of the most graceful batsmen coming in from New Zealand, none other than Martin Crowe. Just now, the news has broken that the former New Zealand captain and one of the greatest batsmen that New Zealand ever produced, Martin Crowe, is no longer with us here as he has passed away at the age of 53. So my condolences to Martin Crowe and his family members. And you also know that Jeff Crowe is the brother of Martin Crowe and he's doing referee duties here in the Asia Cup, and I'm sure he will be going back to New Zealand now. But what a sad, one knew that Martin Crowe was suffering from lymphoma, but one never thought that death would actually come so quickly. But well, it has struck him, and right now we have breaking news from the cricketing world that the former New Zealand, the former graceful player, I would say, of yesteryear from New Zealand, Martin Crowe, who was very, very active. He was there in the last World Cup too, guiding his team, and unfortunately, he has passed away at the age of 53. What a sad moment for New Zealand cricket here. So definitely I'll be talking about that. I'm going to dwell about Martin Crowe today, paying tribute to Martin Crowe, one of the most graceful and a very, very enterprising batsman from New Zealand. And also, today we saw that the host Bangladesh defeated Pakistan in the final over. They clinched the victory in the final over and they made their first entry into the Asia Cup final. So it has been decided now that India and Bangladesh, the hosts, would be clashing in the finals of the Asia Cup 2016. And what a proud moment for Bangladesh. Being the hosts of the tournament, that could be a proud feeling for them. And how happy they would be if they could actually go on to usurp India in the finals of the Asia Cup. But we all know that India is a pretty strong side. But definitely a big challenge lies ahead when India and Bangladesh clash in the final. I'll be talking about that. But as I said, I would like to pay tribute to one of the greatest batsmen New Zealand ever produced. As I said, he was one of those graceful players. I mean, when he came into cricket, he was one of the, normally if one has really followed New Zealand cricket, you would have seen that never has someone just at the age of 19 made his debut like what Martin Crowe made for New Zealand. Because one would have seen that whenever one used to see the New Zealand team, the age always used to be over 25 or 26. That is the time they were actually making their debut. But Martin Crowe was something special, something different, and he was one of those precocious talent that New Zealand had. And just talking about him, he made his debut. He came into international cricket in the year 1982 when he actually made his test debut against Australia. He was just age 19, and right from the time one could see what a wonderful batsman New Zealand had got, because in the first match itself he showed that he has some great technique and the cricketing experts were really raving about him. And no doubt he definitely turned out to be one of the greatest batsmen that New Zealand ever produced, according to me. But what was good about Martin Crowe was the grace that he had. He was a right-handed batsman, but what was good about it is I still remember in my school days, I used to see Martin Crowe drive, and when he used to drive through the covers, magnificent. I mean, I would rate that, and in those times, that would consider to be very graceful cricket from Martin Crowe. And I have not seen any other New Zealand cricket player play as gracefully as Martin Crowe. What a player Martin Crowe. I mean, I still remember his batting stance, and the way he used to dismiss the ball through the cover region for boundary was something which still remains in my memory. I could just visualize it over here while talking to you, dear fans, friends, subscribers. He was a wonderful batsman to watch. He was I would say, a treat for everyone at the stadium, because as I said, he had lots of grace in whatever he did. And his technique was absolutely impeccable. He had some tremendous technique, and the way he used to deal with the deliveries was a real treat to watch. And there was absolute grace in what Martin Crowe was doing every time. And he scored 17 test centuries for New Zealand, his highest being an innings of 299, which took a long time for the record to be broken. In fact, Martin Crowe held the record for the highest score by a New Zealander in Test cricket of 299 against Sri Lanka in Wellington, and that record stood for a long time. And finally, it was Brendan McCullum, the retired captain now of New Zealand, actually breaking it at the Bracing Reserve. And just talking about Martin Crowe, he was also, let me tell you that he was a good medium pace bowler, and he used to chip in with some wickets too. But what was good, another aspect of his cricketing career was his magnificent fielding. His fielding was absolutely impeccable. I mean, you put him in the slips, you put him in the close-in cordon, you put him in the deep, everywhere he used to snap up catches and also come up with some magnificent fielding saves, I would say. So he was just a real treat, as I said. And he was one of those captains from New Zealand who in the 1992 World Cup, as you would remember, made a real innovation in cricket. And that was really something which I still remember. He tossed the ball. I mean, it had never been done in a one-day international, and that's what Martin Crowe did. He dared to be different. He was a man who was a visionary, who was a sort of a great innovator, and he surprised everybody in the 1992 World Cup when this particular 1992 World Cup was held in Australia and New Zealand, as you would remember. And it was the 1992 World Cup which Pakistan won, if I'm not wrong, when Imran Khan's men were there, and he took New Zealand into the semi-finals. But what was very important to note was his innovation behind it. He actually gave the first over to a spinner called Deepak Patel. I still remember his name. He was a right-arm off spinner. In fact, the new ball was not given to the pace bowler, but he gave it to the spinner. And he definitely, I would say that was a great innovation, because Deepak Patel kept on picking up wickets. And he really started changing the face of cricket by doing a super innovation there, by introducing a spinner in the first over of a one-day international. I mean, it should have taken a tremendous guts for Martin Crowe to do that, because as you know, the first 10 overs, the field was in those times, in one-day international rules, there was only 2 people inside the circle, and all the others were outside the circle. They could have, there was a sort of a restriction which was there at that particular time, and you could always go over the top. So that was something I thought that was a very great innovation. And even with this innovation, what he did, he actually happened to take New Zealand to their first semi-finals in World Cup history. It was quite a different thing that they lost the semi-finals. I still remember it was Pakistan's former young batsman by the name Inzamam-ul Haq, who was brought in by Imran Khan, who completely changed the complexion when New Zealand, coming to the semi-final, lost to Pakistan, and Pakistan went into the final. And then, as we all know, Pakistan went on to beat England in the finals of the 1992 World Cup. And after that, and then there were problems, and it was pretty sad to see that Martin Crowe had to retire at the age of 33. It was sad. And then he actually turned his attention to television commentary. He was a good television commentator, and then he started playing some lead roles in the management of the New Zealand cricket team. And as I said, very sad that Martin Crowe, such a wonderful and a graceful batsman to grace New Zealand cricket for quite a long time, is no more with us here today. He has passed away at the age of 53, and as I said, our condolences, my condolences to Martin Crowe and his family members. on this cricket show. Well, and I'm sure New Zealand cricket would be really grieved by the fact that such a doyen of international cricket, Martin Crowe, has passed away. Well, so now, dear fans and subscribers, after completing this tribute to Martin Crowe, let me get on to the the match, 8th match of the Asia Cup. As I said, was a very crucial match that happened today between Bangladesh and Pakistan, and it was a very important for both the teams. And well, it all started with Pakistan actually taking the strike. Pakistan were the ones who won the toss here, and they started off. And let me tell you, the Bangladeshi bowlers were absolutely on the money. Taskin Ahmed, was some disciplined bowling coming in from Taskin Ahmed and Al Amin Hussain, and they really started putting some pressure on the Pakistani opening batsman. Then finally it was Khurram Manzoor who was caught behind by Mushfiqur Rahim of the bowling of Al Amin Hussain for 1 of 7 balls. That was wicket number 1. After that it was Arafat Sani, the spinner, dismissing Shahjil Khan by clean bowling him for 10 of 8 balls with 1-4 and 1-6. And then we saw Mohammad Hafiz dismissed, but there was a sort of a real doubt as to whether Mohammad Hafiz had actually got a bat onto it, because he was declared LBW ball Mushraf Mutazafar 2, and Mohammad Hafiz was not amused by the decision, and Pakistan was struggling at 18 for 3 at that stage. But the only person who actually played for Pakistan was Sarfraz Ahmed. Sarfraz Ahmed really started, he actually had to build the innings, and also he had to see to it that he could give some solid support to Shoaib Malik, as Umar Akmal was claimed by Taskin Ahmed for 4 of 7 balls, and that left this Pakistani innings in real tatters at 28 for 4. And then they definitely required someone to actually stay at the wicket and nurture the innings, and that was done wonderfully well by Sarfraz Ahmed, who scored an unbeaten 58, and he was there till the end of the innings with an unbeaten 58 of 42 balls with 5 fours and 2 sixes. And then Shoaib Malik was the one, as I said, he's the one who can lend solidity to the proceedings for Pakistan, and that's what he precisely did. He gave good company to Sarfraz Ahmed, who was playing his strokes, and also Shoaib Malik also showed that he was also willing to play his strokes, as he contributed 41 of 30 balls with 5 fours and 1 6. And Shahid Afridi was scalped up early. He went for a wild swing and he was out for a duck. Anwar Ali was out for 13 of 9 balls. And once again, this was a standard score that we get in Mirpur here, and that was what was put on the board by Pakistan. 129 for 7, and a disciplined bowling approach from the Bangladeshi bowlers. Taskin Ahmed, as I said, was absolutely on the money. 4 overs, 1 made and 1 for 14. Al Amin Hussain, 4 overs, 3 for 25, was the wicket taker. Mustafa Murtaza bowled 4 overs, 1 for 29. Arafat Sani, the left arm spinner, 4 overs, no made and 235. And Shakib Hasan bowling 4 overs, 1 for 26. A very good bowling effort from the Bangladeshi bowlers, I thought. Now it was the turn for Bangladesh to actually reply to this particular total, and there was real pressure on Bangladesh at that time. Tamim Iqbal, we saw Mohammad Amir was started off the over well, but Tamim Iqbal beautifully played one shot. As you know, Tamim Iqbal came into the team and he beautifully took a ball off his legs. It was a ball which was slanted on him, but Tamim Iqbal beautifully picked up the line and flicked it beautifully over the into the spectators for a beautiful 6. But that was it for Tamim Iqbal. After that, Mohammad Irfan, with his pace and in his bounce, he claimed Tamim Iqbal LBW for 7 of 4 balls with 1 6, which made it 13 for 1. And then Sabir Rahman walked in to join Soumya Sarkar. Now Soumya Sarkar, we know he's a very talented bloke, and we saw that Soumya Sarkar today was really he had to really settle down. Once Tamim Iqbal was gone, there was a bit of responsibility. There was definitely responsibility on Soumya Sarkar, but then we saw that Sabir Rahman was sent 1 drop. Today could not contribute much, only after making 14 runs. He was a victim of the bowling of Shahid Afridi when he got his stumps rearranged by Shahid Afridi for 14 of 15 balls with 1 4, which made it 46 for 2 in the 9th over. And the run scoring was being done by Soumya Sarkar. Soumya Sarkar played some very nice, graceful strokes in this particular innings. and then we saw the entry of Mushfiqur Rahim coming in, and by the time Sabir Rahman left, the score started galloping, because Soumya Sarkar took it upon the bowlers and he started stroking the ball beautifully as he went on to make 48 runs of as many balls with 5 fours and 1 6, and then it was Mohammad Amir who came and actually picked up Soumya Sarkar's wicket for a very attractive 48 balls with 5 fours and 1 6, and the pressure was definitely building at the time. And we saw that Mushfiqur Rahim was LBW bowled Shoaib Malik for 12 or 15 balls, and then it was Shakib Al Hasan who walked in, and Shakib Al Hasan was along with Mahmudullah at that stage, and that was the time when 88 for 4. Still there was some work to be done. 41 runs were still required, and only 5 overs remained. So it was basically one could say the game was really hanging in the balance. It was one could say it was even Stevens, but then what happened is something that I'm going to narrate to you. Shakib Al Hasan came in. Mahmudullah tried to. Mahmudullah, as you know, he has become Bangladesh finisher nowadays in this particular Asia Cup. We have seen that, and then Mahmudullah was along with Shakib Al Hasan. Now, once Mushfiqur Rahim was dismissed, the score went on to 104, and this was the 18th over. And in the 18th over, Mohammad Amir was brought back, and Mohammad Amir beautifully bowled a delivery which he was actually slanting into the stumps, and Shakib Al Hasan was trying to play a scoop shot, and he perished clean bowled by Mohammad Amir for 8 of 13 balls. And Shakib Al Hasan fell. One definitely thought that Pakistan were in with a definite chance here, even though Mahmudullah was at the crease. But let's see what happened once Shakib Al Hasan departed. Shakib Al Hasan departed, and at that time, that particular over, the equation was 26 runs were required from 3 overs. And the first ball was a dot ball, second ball was a wicket of Shakib Al Hasan, and then Mohammad Amir was bowling to Mashraf Murtaza, the captain. And Mashraf Murtaza, my word, that was a beautiful shot. It was held with tremendous force. In fact, Mashraf Murtaza sending Mohammad Amir right down the ground with his very first ball that he faced. He smoked Mohammad Amir into the pickets for a boundary. And in the very next ball, in fact, it was a typical fast bowler's retort, as Mohammad Amir slipped in a very, I would say, fiery bouncer to Mashraf Murtaza, and Mashraf Murtaza actually trying to back away, but the ball actually hit his gloves as he was trying to take evasive action, and because of the pace that Mohammad Amir had on the ball actually flew into the fine leg boundary, and that was a 4. So 8 runs were scored of the 3rd and 4th balls, and then we saw that Mohammad Amir got some control by bowling 2 dot balls to finish the over. And at the end of over 18, Bangladesh, the score for Bangladesh was reading 112 for 5, and 18 runs were required from 12 balls, and Mohammad Sami was the bowler. Now, Mohammad Sami was the bowler, and 18 runs were required. Mashraf Murtaza and Mahmudullah at the crease. And what a sensible batting, if you look at the way that Mahmudullah and Mashraf Murtaza handled, that was something that one could take a lesson. 18 runs were required from 12 balls, and there was no big hitting. They were swinging. It used to happen, like Mohammad Sami was the bowler. Sami was interested the 19th over of the game, and Mohammad Sami had a pressure because 18 runs required from 12 balls, and what an over for Bangladesh. In fact, they took 15 runs of the Mohammad Sami over, and that too not with any big hitting. If you look at it, they took singles. They had a wild swing, no doubt. There was some luck, which also one says that luck favors the brave. So definitely, luck definitely favored them. And we saw Mahmudullah and Mashraf Murtaza not only taking singles and couples, and then Mahmudullah actually got a very good cut shot through the point and third man region for a boundary, which really little settled matters. And Bangladesh, even though 18 runs were required of 12 balls in the 19th over, Mohammad Sami gave away 15 runs in that over with bowling on no ball, and Bangladesh scored read 127 for 5, and now Bangladesh required only 3 runs required from the final 6 balls. But I thought the 19th over was very crucial. 15 runs, as I said, no big hitting, no boundary, just one boundary coming, and that was sensible cricket according to me, and it really shows how mature Mashrafe Mortaza and Mahmudullah were. And then finally, with only 3 runs required from 6 balls, Mahmudullah did not waste any time in the final over, as he sparked off huge celebrations there at the cricket ground when he actually got a ranked bat full toss from Anwar Ali first up, and it was beautifully put over the mid-wicket region by Mahmudullah for a boundary. It was totally coming, it was a lot of bottom hand on the stroke, and it was a very poor ball to bowl under the circumstances. Anwar Ali probably trying to bowl a Yorker, one does not know. He slipped in. The first ball itself was a full toss, and full toss is in cricket is something criminal, as you all know, and that was dispatched with absolute disdain and with great delight by Mahmudullah, to the satisfaction of the Bangladeshi crowd, as the crowd just swarmed the ground, and what a victory for Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, in fact, beating Pakistan and getting into the finals of the Asia Cup. What a moment for Bangladesh, and the man of the match went to Soumya Sarkar for a very well-made 48. Looking at the Pakistani, and also let me also tell Bangladesh that one has to congratulate Bangladesh for this, because one thought that yesterday, after Mustafizur Rahman was ruled out of the Asia Cup, one thought a vital cog was missing, and Bangladesh has definitely proved that they have some reserve talent in store here. What a moment for Bangladesh. Congratulations to Bangladesh after beating Pakistan by 5 wickets, and now India and Bangladesh will be contesting the finals of Asia Cup 2016. Let's have a look at the bowling figures from the Pakistani bowlers. 4 overs, no maiden, 226. He did his bit. Mohammad Irfan, 4 overs, 1 for 23, bowled very well. Mohammad Sami, that 15 runs that he gave away in the 19th over, 4 overs, no maiden, none for 30. Shahid Afridi, 1 for 20 of 4. Anwar Ali, 2.1 overs, no maiden, none for 25. And Malik, 1 over, no maiden, 1 for 3. So Pakistan's challenge in the Asia Cup has ended. And so Pakistan and Sri Lanka have been sent packing in this Asia Cup. And India and Bangladesh will be contesting the finals of the Asia Cup. So now I'm going to talk about a match which does not have much consequence, but for United Arab Emirates, for them, that would hold a lot of value, because the more and more that United Arab Emirates actually plays international cricket, it is only going to be better for them. And in a no consequential match that is going to happen tomorrow, it is the final match of the preliminary rounds, where as you know, the final places have already been decided between India and Bangladesh. So India would take on the United Arab Emirates, and United Arab Emirates, one is really looking forward to United Arab Emirates tomorrow putting up a good batting display. One knows that it's a very difficult thing, but United Arab Emirates would have nothing to lose tomorrow. India are the ones who probably have to be a bit wary, but United Arab Emirates have nothing there. They have to just throw their bats at the Indian bowlers tomorrow, and it would be interesting to see whether United Arab Emirates can, as far as the bowling is concerned, with the pitch really helping, they have definitely taken advantage of it, and they have done a wonderful job. One has to congratulate them for their bowling effort, but one is really looking at UAE putting up a batting effort tomorrow against the Indians. That is something which one is really waiting to watch. I'm definitely waiting to watch that, and they definitely have some talented players in the form of Rohan Mustafa. They have Mohammad Shahzad, Shaiman Anwar, who just came into form the other day against Pakistan. Mohammad Usman, Amjad Javed, the captain, always leads by example. He's quite an aggressive bloke, an aggressive captain too. He picked up the 3 Pakistani wickets, as you know. And then Swapnil Patil, the wicketkeeper, has not been in some good form in this particular Asia Cup, but he could definitely be relied upon. He's quite a good bat. And then they have the bowling of Mohammad Naveed, Ahmed Raza, the spinner, and Fahd Tariq. But for UAE, so they are taking on the mighty Indians, who are already into the final. And for India, probably tomorrow would be the time for them to make some experimentation. Probably tomorrow we might see Ajinkya Rahane coming in, Harbhajan Singh getting opportunity, Pawan Negi getting opportunity, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. So hope one thinks that since India has already entered the final, I think it would be better for Ajinkya Rahane and Pawan Negi, Harbhajan Singh and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar to play tomorrow, so that all the big names can rest a bit. Probably Virat Kohli can also rest a bit, and probably one can say that Rohit Sharma still needs to get a good knock on his belt. So Rohit Sharma, according to me, should be playing. He should be the one opening with Shikhar Dhawan, and then probably they can slot in Ajinkya Rahane at Virat Kohli's place, and then Suresh Raina could play, but Yuvraj Singh could be taken up, and Pawan Negi could take his place, and then they could bring Harbhajan Singh in place of Ravindra Jadeja, and probably Bhuvaneshwar Kumar coming in place of Ashish Nehra. So probably an experimentation could be done, because India have nothing to lose. They are already into the finals. So that is the match which is coming up, the no consequential match which is coming up tomorrow. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, as I said, this is a very sad cricket happening show today, as international cricket, world cricket mourns the loss of a great great New Zealand batsman, a very graceful player, and also a wonderful, I would say, ambassador to international cricket. Is none other than the New Zealand cricketer Martin Crowe, who passed away today at the age of 53. So